Hi, this is Randall with a hot take on something that I see going on in the commercial real estate market. In today's Wall Street Journal, there was a discussion about ExxonMobil, the largest, I don't know if they're the first or second largest oil company in the world, oil and gas company in the world, but they announced that they were looking at options to reduce their leasing of their corporate office in the greater Houston area. They built out, what is it, a 350 acre facility that could house more than 10,000 people. But with the pandemic, they first never fully utilized all the space they had available, and now they're projecting that they won't necessarily need this. All of that space. So they're trying to see if there's a way that they can sublet the unused space, reconfigure the campus for the folks that they're going to keep. As they look at hybrid work models where, people work from home X number of days per week and then they work in the office X days per week. How do you actually make that work and what their actual true office space requirement is? Now, a number of companies went through the exact same thing earlier in this year, quite a bit of last year. So this is not anything new. It just happens to be something that showed up for this company. Some companies own their facilities. Other companies have leased their facilities. So you can begin to see that either way you do this, there's a huge cost that's hitting the budget. And for a good CEO, it's great cost management if you have an underutilized or unused asset to either sell it or figure out how to get it productive. So that's just smart business to figure that out. Now, for some of you that are in the commercial real estate market, this is going to represent a huge opportunity if you have an innovative way to help them either figure out how to unload the space or find an alternate use for the space or help them to sublet, or if you come up with some other creative options for them, they are looking to hear from you right now. I'm going to go full contrarian on this though. All right. And this is my hot take. My hot take is I understand that invariably this makes a lot of sense. And coming up on the end of the pandemic, we are talking about the quote unquote new normal. But I'm going to go back to something where we talk about what's natural. All right. And under the category of what's natural is we need the connection of other people, even the introverts. It's like I want to be around other people as an introvert, but I don't necessarily want to put myself out there and lead conversation and do a whole host of things. And I may only be able to do it for short periods of time. But in the right environment where I can be out and still be invisible, I love that because I still get energy from that. And so when we understand being human is all about connection, and we do understand that we're going to have to work, then I think there are going to be some limits to how we do the whole virtual thing. And I also think that the virtual thing is going to start really beginning to have some privacy issues where what does it mean for your employer to be able to begin to dictate what their expectation is around what you do in your non-office space? Can they tell you what you can have in your backdrop? How much monitoring do they do? Surveillance do they do of the electronics in your home? I think we're on the front end of a lot of those things, but I think at some point people are going to say, you know what, the pandemic is well behind us. And now, is there a way that I can re-engage back into the workplace physically that actually deals with a lot of the things that I used to tolerate in the past, but I won't tolerate now? And can I make it a much more productive environment? And we do know that although we figured out how to collaborate virtually, that when you put people together in a room, we have a greater connection to one another. We become more productive around one another. We get more things done, and we actually have more empathy, appreciation, affection, and sympathy for one another, which we all need as humans. So my hot take is, while we're going through this restructuring right now, and there's opportunities for your small business, that long term, I don't know that we're necessarily going to go back to the way it was, but if you're thinking about it from a real estate perspective, there might be a new model that we're moving to that makes sense for your real estate business? Might you start putting together regional pods where people can get together in that are cost effective, where folks can get together in natural work groups or work teams where geographies can support it? All right. Might there be other options out there that you might consider that allows for the connection, but doesn't necessarily mean having huge campuses? We could potentially go back to huge campuses. I don't know. I can't say. If I'm going to handicap it and give you my gut on it, I'd say we'll probably figure it out. But how we engage with one another is going to be fun. What's going to be different based on what we've gone through in the last 2 or 3 years. But hey, let me know your thoughts. This is just my guess, my speculation. You're hearing one person's point of view on this. This, of course, is my hot take, and we'll see what happens from there. But there's once again opportunity for your small business as a real estate person to help companies navigate through this and find options that help them to manage their fiduciary responsibility to the bottom line, figure out how to use unproductive space, and that allows them to stimulate the productivity in their workforce simultaneously. So that's it. Take care.